What's up everyone, my name is Anthony and in this video I'm going to give you a brief overview of the status of the markets at the current moment as well as future projections in the next couple of months or so, and then I'm going to talk about some of the meme stocks like AMC, and then I'm also going to go over Bitcoin. So if you found this video was useful for you, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button and be sure to join the Discord down in the description below if you haven't done so already. So to start off, I'm going to zoom out to SPY 1 hour time frame, and we're looking, so this is the S&P 500 index, and we're looking at the broader term wave counts. So there's a lot of stuff on this chart, and I'm going to try to simplify it for you and give just a reminder of what's going on in the markets on the broader term time frame. So overall, we have the COVID pandemic bullish run. So we first have a wave 1 up, wave 2 down, 3, 4, and now we're working on this entire wave 5 up here. So if I take away all this, we can see that we've been trending upwards pretty gradually, very steady increase, a little bit of chop in between, but overall we're getting up to some very high technical levels on SPY. And if I zoom in to some future timelines, so let's go down to the 15-minute time frame. We're sitting within this impulsive fifth wave, we have a 3 ABC, a 4 forming here, and now we're working on this mini impulsive wave. So this is a nested fifth wave within a fifth wave. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and now this is the fifth wave that I'm talking about right here. So we have a bunch of nested fifth waves all over here, and we are slowly approaching some of my targets that I mentioned in previous videos. And when we do hit some of these targets, there's a very, very high chance that we do come down for bear markets to correct all the upside that we've been having since the COVID drop. And that huge uptrend, we're going to now start to correct some of that upside once we get up to these areas. So we haven't gotten there yet, but I predict that sometime around July, August, we will start seeing evidence of this bear market. So for now, we can still keep being bullish on the markets, but just I want to keep you aware that we are approaching levels where a reversal is very likely. So here's the price action occurring over the past couple of months or so. So first I want to point off to this area of very high choppiness where we had just up and down price action and ultimately getting nowhere on the S&P 500 index for a month or so. So this is known as a complex correction, and you can see a WX, YXZ essentially forming here, and that forms your fourth wave, and this leads into the start of the fifth wave. So I want to talk a little bit about how we know that this is an impulsive structure. Well, first of all, we see that over here, the start of this wave 1 in yellow, we can see a very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure forming. Whereas over here, where I mark this as the X wave, you cannot see the same sort of, you can't really see the same impulsive structure forming because you can't label it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can only do like, if you do a 1, 2, 3 up here, there's no really 4 or 5, there's no second push upwards that gives you evidence of an impulsive structure forming. So be careful of labeling this as an impulsive structure because it's not. This is a complex correction X wave. So we come down for this final correction, and then we can finally push upwards for this wave. So over here, we have that wave 1 up and then a wave 2 down. So if I zoom in on this a little bit, we see that this wave 2 also forms a complex correction. So a WXY for the wave 2. And then now let me go down to the 5-minute time frame to zoom in on this third wave here in yellow. So I'm talking about this third wave right here, and it started right after this second wave bottomed out right here. I talked about this WXY pattern, and now we had this evidence of that start of the third wave due to the fact that we had another impulsive structure forming here, so a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we came down for a second wave, and if I get rid of these extensions right here, so we have in green, we're nesting within this third wave. So that third wave in yellow that I'm talking about right here, we're nesting within that. We're forming another impulsive structure in green. So in that green structure, we have a 1, 2, and now we're working on that wave 3 up here in green. And within this wave 3 in green, we can subdivide that further into an impulsive structure. So a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you can see, there's a lot of nesting going on, and that's very common in markets when we're approaching the top. So as you can see, I talked about previously, we are approaching areas where a bear market reversal is highly likely, specifically at levels anywhere from 431 to 438. That's where you can expect evidence to start showing of market weakness. But for now, we can start grinding higher up. And when you do have this grind up to that all-time high for a while, you're going to start to see this nesting because the markets are essentially stalling out. They don't really want to change the markets to bearish yet. They want to keep pushing bullish until something really major happens, whether it's some kind of inflation scare, some new COVID strain, something, whatever happens in the news. But until you get this catalyst that really can force that bear market into existence, we're going to keep extending and extending as much as we can upwards. That's what the markets like to do. So right now we're working on that intermediate fourth wave, within this third wave, within this third wave, within that broader term fifth wave up here. So that's just a detailed minute by minute breakdown of the wave counts. And so far, nothing has changed about my count. In the past videos, I've had the same count. Now we're just keeping on subdividing and subdividing. So yeah, so far it looks good. Everything looks good. I'm currently not in any calls right now because of this. The way that these markets are pushing upwards isn't very profitable in terms of calls. It actually is more profitable to do a neutral strategy like the Iron Condor, and that's what I'm focusing on doing right now. So overall, we should see some bullish momentum still in the markets. The degree of how much bullish this will be determined by what happens at the Fed meeting most likely. But overall, we can expect to see some kind of bullish reaction eventually to that Fed meeting news tomorrow. And in terms of expecting where we can go for these third waves, these price targets, we can calculate that right now. So let's look at first of all, let's look at the yellow count. So we want to take the fib extension right here. So up to the top of the wave 1 right here. So top of wave 1 down to wave 2. And we can see that we're getting some levels around 429, 434, and even 437. In my opinion, I think that we might come up to maybe the 431 to 434 area as the final topping area of this wave 3. So we'll keep in mind these levels. Let me get rid of some of these to make it more clear. And within this wave 3, we can keep looking for some more Fibonacci extension targets. So let's do that. Let's look at this green wave 3 projection. So over here, we can see that similarly, we're also expecting some kind of resistance at 429 to 431. And then, so overall, I think this green wave 3 will stop somewhere around this area. And this is in confluence with this trend line right here. So what we could see happen is prices slowly grind upwards and then try to hit against this trend line and then fail and reject for that wave 4 and then push upwards for that wave 5 right here. So we should see this kind of price action like this. And then we'll consolidate for that wave 4, and then we'll push finally upwards for that wave 5, and then start the bear market. So this is what we should be seeing overall in the future. I will update any changes to this as soon as I can in the Discord as well as on the YouTube. But for now, I expect the reason why I have this trend line over here is where we could see a possible area of resistance for that third wave push upwards. So that's the breakdown of the S&P 500 index. Now let's go to the NASDAQ or the tech sector, which is reflected by the triple Qs. So overall, we've seen actually pretty good price action in the tech sector with this grind upwards, and we're right at all-time highs, and we rejected a little bit, but we did push pretty high. So overall, I think we might be able to see some kind of impulsive structure forming. For the tech sector, it's a little bit harder to decide right now because we need to see a push upwards to these levels to confirm that we're actually in an impulsive structure for that wave 3. But overall, I think we can definitely get there, especially since we're bullish on SPY. With this impulsive structure forming, we can also expect the triple Qs to be bullish and follow along with it as well. So we might see a push upwards for that wave 3, then some consolidation for that wave 4, and then a push upwards for that wave 5. And similarly, just like the S&P 500, around July, August, we should see that bear market forming, and then we'll start dipping and correcting a lot of that upside that is much needed for the tech sector. So that's the general price predictions of the triple Qs. Overall, I expect that we should be pushing higher into the 350s possibly because we are seeing evidence of that impulsive structure forming. So next I want to move on to AMC. So AMC is pretty cool because although this is a very volatile meme stock, Wave 3 actually has been very successful in predicting price action so far. So just to summarize, we have that Wave 1 impulse, Wave 2 correction, and now we're working on, or we finished this extended Wave 3, so a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to form this Wave 3 right here. And then we corrected for that Wave 4, so that consolidation area, we kind of formed like a mini triangle area. And then we pushed right off my buy zone from previous videos as well as the stuff I signaled in the Discord. And now we're pushing up for that Wave 5. And overall, I do think that we might have actually hit a relative top. I'm curious to see whether it will push upwards for some higher extension levels, and I'll show you exactly how I got these. But overall, I would not recommend playing calls into AMC at this point because we are already very extended in terms of the Wave 5. And even if you did get some upside, it's very hard to make significant profit. You wouldn't make any triple-digit percentage profits off AMC calls because they're so overpriced right now with the implied volatility. So I was recommending playing stocks instead of options, even if you got in at this buy zone. Like you wouldn't really want to trade options at this point because the theta decay is so high, and you would have to really you wouldn't get as much upside as you'd expect in option contracts. Overall, so I'll show you how I derived these extension levels right here. So we simply take the length of wave 1 like this, and then we drag it down to the bottom of wave 4. And you can see we're getting exactly the same levels that I've diagrammed right there. So this is where those come from. And right now we can see we're rejecting at the 1.414, which is a very common stopping ground for wave 5s. But since we haven't pushed higher than this wave 3 top, we could try to push a little bit higher. But overall, I don't think that we'll push too much higher. So when we go down to the 5-minute time frame, and I'll explain to you why I think that is. So because this wave 5 is an impulsive structure, we can sort of see a mini impulsive structure forming within this wave 5. So we can kind of have that 1, 2, and then maybe a 3, 4, 5. We can have this structure. If this is the wave count, the upside to AMC is over. This would be the top of that wave 5 right here. So this 5th wave would mark the end of the impulsive structure, and then we would be correcting for an ABC. So we would come down, probably bounce off here, like so. So we would have some kind of ABC structure forming, and then we would return to some previous levels, so maybe around the 30s. Regardless of what happens now, whether we come up to touch some of these upper levels, we're going to eventually retrace all this upside and correct, because this stock is right now very overpriced. Even though there's a lot of people still buying and selling, there needs to be some kind of sell-off to this impulsive wave structure. So overall, I would not trade AMC. There's no, at the 60s or 50s level, it's too high to trade calls especially. So yeah, I think that we are very close to the top on AMC. And if we do push the upside, we could come up to the 2.618, which is at 84.89. And this would already be very unlikely because the 3rd wave extended so far. As you can see, compared to the wave 1, the wave 3 extended, I think, to the 4.6 or some level, some really high level. Yeah, we extended to the 3.618 already on wave 3. And when wave 3s do that, the wave 5 is more unlikely to extend further. So yeah, that's my opinion on AMC, and we'll keep updated as well in the Discord. So now finally, let's go on to Bitcoin. So in a previous video, I mentioned my wave count for Bitcoin as being this, and so far we're seeing exactly that. So we see a wave 1 up, wave 2 down, and then extended wave 3 upwards. And we can further subdivide this wave 3 into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern. And now we worked on that ABC correction downwards for that wave 4, and maybe it looks like we're working upwards for that wave 5. And as I also said previously, wave 5s tend to be very slow and choppy, and we're getting that exact price action right here. So far in Bitcoin, you can actually see a little bit of similarity to this chart versus AMC, which is very interesting. If you compare these two, they're actually very similar. We have a really far extended wave 3, and then in AMC we were able to push upwards for that wave 4, push upwards for that wave 5 right here. And in Bitcoin, it looks like we're in that process of doing that. So very similar chart patterns in AMC and Bitcoin. And overall, yeah, we finished this 3rd wave upwards for that ending diagonal, and then we came down for that correction. And it looks like that push upwards is looking good. We would need to see it keep going upwards for that wave 5 target, and I expect that Bitcoin should slow down if we do come up for this wave 5. That area of resistance would be right around the all-time highs, somewhere here. So we can expect the wave 5 to stop potentially. Overall, upside is expected for Bitcoin. And yeah, that's my opinion on the general markets as well as some meme stocks and Bitcoin. So in general, other meme stocks will likely follow AMC. If AMC goes up, other meme stocks might also go up. Same with cryptocurrency. If Bitcoin is leading the charge, other cryptocurrencies may gain value as well. So I think these are really good representatives of the broader markets in terms of meme stocks and cryptocurrency. So that's going to be an update for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And let me know if you have any questions. Message me in Discord, or feel free to type something in the comment section below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.